Hello. Today we're going to talk about smartphones. We're going to talk about the Android versus the iPhone and why purchasing an Android would be better for you. The two phones work off of different operating systems, but they can do pretty much the same thing. The iPhone uses an iOS that is made by Apple, and the Android uses the Android operating system that is made by Google. One of the advantages that the Android has over the iPhone as far as its operating system goes is the ability to customize the operating system more to your liking. The iOS is pretty much what you see is what you get. There's not a lot of customization options. Now there is a new one coming out that is supposed to change that, but as far as the current iOS that is out on the market today, there's not a lot of stuff that you can do with it without having to either jailbreak your phone or add on applications to do other things. The other thing is the ease of use. Now, a lot of people think that the iPhone is extremely easy to use, but as far as the Android is just as easy. It may have a little bit of a higher learning curve, but once you learn how to use it, a lot of the things are a lot easier to do, and a lot of tasks are a lot easier to complete on an Android than an iPhone. The other big difference between Android phones and iPhones is the amount of models that are available for the Android. There are many different companies that make Android phones or Android-based phones. As for with the iPhone, the only company that makes it is Apple. With the Android, you have companies like Samsung, HTC. Those are some of the bigger ones. LG makes them. Sony actually makes phones that run on the Android operating system. And there's a lot of other devices out there that are now running on the Android, just like the Kindle and stuff like that. So the models that you have to choose from with the Android are vastly more than the iPhone, because basically the iPhone, you only have the models that Apple have produced of the iPhone, and it ends up not being a whole lot. The other big advantage that the Android phones have is not only the availability of different models, but the availability of different screen sizes. With the iPhone, the screen sizes are pretty much set in stone depending on which model you get. With the Android, you can get screen sizes from 5 inches and recently a 6.8 inch, what they call phablet, which is a phone/tablet, was released. So there's a huge variety of screen sizes. One of the other advantages that the Androids have over the iPhone is basically the usability, the things that you can actually use it for and the things that can be used with it. When you're talking the iPhone, everything that you want to do, you have to buy some type of an adapter or an add-on or something like that. With the Android phones, say for instance you have a video on your phone that you want to show on your TV. Some of the Android phones have an HDMI out port that you can actually hook straight into an HDMI port on your TV. Another big advantage that Androids have over the iPhones is the ability to add SD cards. Each phone has a set amount of memory, and common amounts are 8 gig, 16 gig, 32 gig, 64 gig. The Android phones, you can actually add an SD card, some of them up to 64 more gigs, so you can essentially double the capacity of information that your phone can hold. And this includes storing things like pictures and videos and music if you use your phone for music and things of that nature. So that ends up being a really big advantage that the iPhone just does not have and has not ever had. Matter of fact, I prefer the Android, and that's one of the main reasons is because of that. Productivity is another big issue with the phones. You can essentially do anything on an iPhone that you can on an Android, but in my opinion, the Android it seems to be better as far as productivity is concerned. The phones that are coming out today, the hardware on them is a lot more powerful, so the phone itself is more powerful, and with that comes the ability to use higher end applications and things like Office, Google Docs, things of that nature. It's stuff where you can actually get some work done. Also, with the bigger screen size, it's easier to get that work done on a bigger screen size. It's easier to surf the internet, It's more enjoyable to watch movies on a little bit bigger screen size. Now, some people, they don't like the bigger screen sizes, but I think that's definitely a big advantage that the Androids have. Basically, the main reason why I go with Android, and this is actually my Galaxy S3 here, is the ability to customize it. As you can see, my start screen, it's not stock, as they would say. I've actually customized it and put a completely different ROM on there. One of the big advantages of doing that is there's a huge community out there that supports the ROMs, and you can get some of the new features that are released on the newer phones even on your older ones. Eventually those may trickle down from the carrier, but it usually takes quite a long time for the carrier to update the phones. So that again goes to productivity. If you need some of the newer features that the newer operating systems or the newer versions of Android offers, then you can put it on here. With the iPhone, you're kind of stuck until they update it, because then it's pushed out to all the iPhones, and you have the choice as to whether or not you want to update it to a certain extent. Eventually it becomes where you pretty much have to update because applications stop working with the older versions, and that's just another advantage. So as you can see, there are many advantages of owning an Android. Some of the biggest ones are the screen size, the choices that you have. If you prefer a smaller phone, you can get an Android smaller phone. If you want one of those huge 6.8 screen ones that are almost as big as a 7-inch tablet, you can get one of those. With the iPhone, you can only get what's available. Like right now, the iPhone 5, it's one model, 2 colors. That's the only choice that you have, and there's no way to get around that, and that's a huge downfall. That's something that apparently Apple has not learned, and that's one reason why their share of the market is considerably dropping, because there are so many Android smartphones out there that they're just taking over. But as you can see, there are a lot of advantages to owning an Android. A lot of Apple fans would disagree with me, but when it comes right down to it, things like the SD card and the screen size and stuff, there's just no argument there for them. So thank you for listening.